Okay, I'm going to assume that we are live. So, everyone, welcome back to ESA Summer Online. We're raising money for Alzheimer Fonden. Links to donate can be found below the stream, and also if you type out the command !donate in chat. We would also like to thank Kaspersky, Twitch, and ViewSonic for sponsoring this event. Now is the time. I see people in chat are incredibly excited for this one. It's Nost running the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, and specifically Spyro 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that's
is that right?
That is correct.
Amazing. So yeah, we just, on a relevant note, we still have the incentive for color choice for the next Spyro run, and our top three are pink with $40, black and green with $30 apiece, and yellow on $20. So keep those donations coming, and let's get to 20k quick as we can. But until then, Nost, over to you. Good luck.
Brilliant. Let's see it, folks. I want to see a pink Spyro for Becky's run, please. I'd love to see that. Anyway, folks, welcome. My name is Nost. I'm going for Spyro Reignited Trilogy, Spyro the Dragon, 80% no balloonist skip. And I'm going to get started. So I'm going to count down from 3, and I'm going to start time when we get to, obviously, get to 0, alright? So, we all ready? Timer?
Just assume we are, and
right.
Just count it down.
Brilliant. Right, so 3, 2, 1, go! Right, folks, welcome. This is Spyro the Dragon. This is the first game of the trilogy. So this is obviously our faithful remaster of the original games from Insomniac from 1998 on the PlayStation 1. With Spyro 1, first thing I'm going to do is collect a few dragons, but did you know that you can skip Nestor? I just skipped Nestor. That dragon you're not really meant to skip, apparently. But nah, with that first jump, basically, and straight away what I did was, when you have that jump animation, and then you mash that triangle button, you can skip Nestor nice and quick. So with any % no balloonist skip, this is the faithful, how do I put it? This is our faithful resurrection, I should say, or like remastered version of the any % category on Spyro 1. The reason why we have the NBS or no balloonist skip is because there is a trick, or glitch even I should say, within 60 frames a second on the PC version, where you can basically get to the end of the game ridiculously early and save like 40 minutes of the entire run. But because, you know what? Let's go for a category this time, which is how the game intends us to go for it. It's not fully glitchless, I suppose. It's just a no major glitches category mainly. So with any % no balloonist skip, our main goals is basically get through each homeworld with each requirement as the game intends us to. So our first requirement is 10 dragons. I'm going to be collecting 11 when I leave Artisan's homeworld. Then through Peacekeepers, you need 1,200 gems. With Magic Crafters, you need 5 eggs. For Beastmakers, we need 50 dragons. And then for Dreamweavers, we need 6,000 gems. Now, what you're going to be seeing is I'm going to be collecting gems and dragons along the way, mainly, obviously, for the final 2 requirements. After Magic Crafters, we won't be collecting any more eggs, but only need 5. We'll collect them mainly when going into what was it called? Peacekeepers. See, I'm forgetting the homeworlds already. Playing this game so much, I'm forgetting their names. So, Town Square. We've got this nice little trick coming up in Town Square where we have a little proxy. I say a little proxy. I'm going to try and show things off a little bit by sending Spyro skyrocketing. So yeah, basically with Nil's Fairy proxy, when I free this dragon, you'll see that the fairy kind of like there'll be some kind of invisible geometry that kind of gets Spyro to shift a little bit, and then as the fairy spawns, Spyro will just go flying. See if I can set this up right. Well, I got slight proxy, but I want the big one. Come on, game. Give me the big one. I want to go for the big one. There we go. Nice big one. Sending Spyro right into the air. And from that, I'm going to now... The run essentially properly starts with its main movement. You know, it's brilliant. When I first started running this category, I kind of taken as long as I could trying to do that, how do I explain it? Just that strat purely because it was just fun to send Spyro into space. And with the PC version of this game, the PC version is really, really interesting. because it has one benefit that the console version does not have, which is the ability to change frame rates. Now, the frame rates, the weird thing is, as well with Reignited Trilogy, is the physics of the game. So how Spyro moves, the main collision of the geometries actually changes depending on your frame rate. I'm actually playing this game right now in 50 frames a second. The stream should be streaming out at 60, so you'll see there may be like a slight little slow difference. But ideally, you can run the game in 30 frames a second. That's mainly ideal for Spyro 2 and for Spyro 3, which only recently, shoutouts to my mate Green Soul, who's currently got the world record in this specific category, who's currently running this in 30 frames a second, purely because a lot of the jumps are nicer. You can actually get tricks, what I'm going to try later, like flying skip, a lot easier with it. The only main difference, though, is wall glides are a little bit difficult because of those collision changes, which is where 60 frames a second comes in, or any higher frame rate comes in. This is why I'm running at 50, because gem drops are actually a lot quicker in 50. That's why we mainly look at running that in 120%, which is obviously your completionist category, where you collect everything. So, we're going to be going straight into Dry Canyon. See, Artisans was very quick. Less than 5 minutes in, and straight away we're already done with Artisans. Now what we need to focus on is collecting those 1,200 gems. I'm going to be still collecting those along the way. This is going to be a nice little gem route I'm going to follow. So yeah, and here we are going into Dry Canyon. Just going to be collecting for some dragons and some gems.
We already have a couple donations in, if you want to hear them.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, so both of these donations, just so you know, are going to the caller choice incentive, and I'll be informing you of how's it going as I read along. But we have $10 from The Big P saying, "Hey Nost, best of luck with your run. I just want to say no pressure. Everyone is watching, so all the pressure." Oh man, just don't do that to him. Have fun with Jankman, and I'll donate another 10 if you agree Skylanders is the best Spyro game. Much love from your worst mod. And their $10 is going for Pink Spyro.
That is my mod, Jojo. Thank you so much, man. All the P love.
We also have a $5 donation from Tiny Tim, our very own.
Yo, Tim!
Hey-o. Donating for the amazing Nost and the Spyro run. One of the nicest, most amazing people I've ever met. Good luck, my friend. Cheers.
Mate,
and
right back at... Can I just say, Tim, right back at you, man. You are an absolutely lovely soul. Thank you. You know, honestly, it's absolute legendary that I was able to meet you back at EGX. Thank you so much for your support, man.
An incredible person right there. And their $5 is going to Black, which is now breaking the tie for second place. And our top three now looks like this. Pink in first with 50, Black in second with 35, and Green in third with $30. Thank you all for your donations, and keep them coming. I want to see a true bid war here, so... let's make it happen. Back to you, Nost.
Thank you very much, Paul Lister. So yeah, that's really, really exciting, folks. You keep those donations coming. I want to see Becky go with that. To be fair, going between both pink and black's two very cool colors. So, you know, let's see if you can all decide it all for her. So what I tried doing here, a trick called the flying skip. It's actually a frame perfect trick within the entry of Clifftown. There's actually 2 more levels which I'm going to try and do that trick with. Sadly, obviously, I didn't get it because I need the very correct frame to get and to go and do that. With the flying skip, the whole idea of it is when Spyro touches the portal, right before you are about to enter the level, you can essentially cache the level's information within like the start menu. I obviously tried doing that with a bit of pause buffering. And basically, when you get the correct frame, the game thinks that you're inside of Clifftown, or obviously whatever level you're going to be going into, and while you're still in the homeworld. And to save time, specifically real time, and only in 3 levels we actually have a loadless timer. I'll go on to that in a very short moment. You basically can save real time by basically stopping the load screens from taking as long, because Spyro 1 is sort of a bit hindered by the length of its load screen. Spyro 2 and 3 thankfully have quicker load screens, Stonehill is notorious for its extremely long hold screen, basically. I should have mentioned that right at the very beginning. But basically, with the whole idea of it being called a flying skip, if you saw that beginning animation as Spyro came into the level, that animation is the flying animation. And with, we have a timer that we use on the speedrun.com leaderboards called the loadless timer, which obviously takes your real-time time and will automatically pause it for you when you're in screens like this, basically, where you're basically going into a level and you've got your load screen. With the loadless timer, that timer actually starts ticking near towards the end of that flying animation, but you can skip that flying animation, obviously, by doing your flying skip and save about 5 to 7 seconds of loadless, which obviously is very, very handy if you're trying to, you know, climb up those leaderboards. Really, really nice. And here is our very first flight level within this NBS run. You are going to be seeing me doing these. You're going to be doing all of these, but Sunny Flight. Sunny Flight is the one within the first homeworld. This is canonically the first flight that you do. The reason why I haven't done it in the first homeworld is because, as much as the gems is like the main reason we do these flights, we don't need to have early gems within Artisans, and to be able to route that early on is not very beneficial, because we can kind of keep collecting gems all the way through the later levels and not bother with, you know, having to go for the early gems within Artisans. But if you do want to do the Artisans flight, then I highly recommend obviously doing the completionist category, which is our 120% category. What's also quite interesting as well is the flights have their own competitive scene as well. So if you're very interested in doing the individual levels, not just within, you know, obviously this full game category as I'm doing right now, if you want to do some individual level practice to try and get some more records within that, then obviously there's a big scene within those. And we try and base our routes within these game categories from those. Obviously try and go as quick as we can to save as much time as we can. And then here we are coming up to our first boss level, which sadly, I do love Shemp. He's such a good boss. The only problem is, though, is we're not going to be taking on Shemp because his gems are actually not really the quickest. So we just go straight in with collecting the first few gems, get the dragon, which is halfway through the level, and say goodbye to Shemp and keep him alive. The only one we're going to be going for up later is Blowhard, which we're going to be taking on a little later. So yeah, now what's quite nice in this level is I can kind of just run past all of these enemies, because as you can see, as they run off of the level, all of their gems will automatically home in, so I don't need to worry much about their gems kind of, you know, getting lost into the abyss. This is one thing that Reignited Trilogy has a little bit of a flaw of, especially if you're running on console, is the gems can get lost, basically just within the abyss, especially within 2 levels, which is Metalhead and Wizard Peak. You have to do a death abuse within Wizard Peak to get like one of the 2 gems to show up again. But thankfully, with with Metalhead, you know, we can carry on just as normal with those gems going. Now, Ice Cavern is quite a nice level, if you pardon my pun. Ice Cavern is actually my favorite level, purely because it's a nice, smooth route. It's got my favorite dragon in, funnily enough, and also, again, talking a little bit about the completionist category of 120%, you actually have multiple ways of doing the routes within this category, within the level. But also, the aesthetic's just so nice, and the music's pretty chill as well. Shoutouts to Stuart Copeland, who's the drummer of the Police, who did the original composition for these level musics. Let's hear it in chat. Let's hear your favorite level and your favorite Police music. Also, what's quite nice as well within Ice Cavern is we can get, you know, a good amount of gems away across here. There's also a key chest, which we're not going to bother with, purely because I have to then walk all the way, you know, run all the way back around. As you can see as well, I'm not stopping the charge with Spyro. I'm trying to charge as much as we can, because that's obviously our fastest movement within this game. Keep on going, keep on charging. And I don't think I've got Actually, I did do a little bit earlier in, what was it, in Dry Canyon. I'll let you all know a little later, but you'll notice as well that I bonk upstairs, which is the fastest movement to go upstairs. Bonking within this game is a little bit more of a favor than what we asked for, really. It's actually not a good thing to do in the original games, but in Reignited, it's actually, it's helpful. There's actually a good use for it. Brilliant. And that's Ice Cavern done. I'm guessing you all can hear that bike that just went on zooming through. We need to go as fast as him, folks. We need to zoom on fast. Come on, Spyro. As fast as that motorbike. Come on. And there is the best dragon in the game, Magnus. Community favorite, I hear. And that is Peacekeeper's done, and also, don't mind Gosnold, he's a bit of a scary balloonist. He likes to... This is another thing within this game, if you talk to the balloonists too quick, you can actually glitch their audio out a little bit and duplicate their audio. So Gosnold is, we like to pretend he's an alien, basically, because, you know, he's freaked us out a little bit. So far, this is where we're going to focus more on collecting eggs. I've already got 2 eggs so far, if you might have noticed. I should also mention as well, within these egg thieves, as what you just saw me do just there, I managed to collect the egg while Spyro is falling, while he's got a little bit of downward momentum, as what we would call it. Now, the reason we do that is because if you just flame Spyro if you flame the thief, sorry, without having any downward momentum, Spyro will pause. Like, he'll basically be stuck for like a brief moment, and you will basically get this animation of the egg homing in, which will basically make you lose like about 4 to 5 seconds, which isn't great. So the best thing to do with all these thieves is to try and flame them while falling or while jumping. The main ideal thing to do. There is also a thief coming up just before I go into High Caves, which is what we call our backup thief. If you forget any of the 3 eggs that I've just done to this point, you can basically get that thief just because it's along the way on the route, basically. So this is Alpine Ridge. Alpine Ridge is the reason why we don't run this game in 60 frames a second. Because in 60 frames a second, this level kind of just, you know, it just doesn't want to listen to us. Now, here's the whole bonking I was mentioning about a moment ago. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Well, that wasn't much of a bonk, only on 1 step, but that's fine. So yeah, basically, this wall I'm just about to go to over here, in 60 frames a second, that wall just decides to stop, because all of the wizard cycles in 60 frames just decide to break. And because of that, we don't run this game in 60 frames a second. We would love to, because obviously that is like one of the most ideal frame rates in gaming in general. But obviously, because of that, we just decide not to do it. We could obviously decide to, run it and then switch to 50, but that's just losing time switching frame rates. So we'll just stick with 50. It's good enough as it is. Again, it's kind of as I mentioned earlier, it's a little bit of a benefit as well when doing I nearly got squished by that guy. That wasn't very nice. Mainly, obviously, because of those wall glides as well, and the flying skips. A lot of frame rate based stuff. It's a bit unsettling, but when running this game, it's what you have to deal with. What's also quite interesting as well is the movement within this game is a lot different to how you do the movement within the original games. Within Reignited Trilogy, what's quite a benefit as well is the playing mechanics that obviously you see with Spyro here is consistent across both 1, 2, well, all of 1, 2, and 3 within the Reignited Trilogy. You're basically playing 3 different chapters of one entire game. It's basically how it's programmed. However, obviously within the original games were made as 3 separate games, and 2 and 3 have very different mechanics to Spyro 1 in the original games. So what's quite nice is it's good to compare Reignited Trilogy with all of the movement tech between 1, 2, and 3 from the originals. So obviously with 3 you had a lot of proxies. With 3 in this you don't have a lot of proxies. 1 you had a lot of wall glides. 1 in this game you don't have a lot of wall glides. They're mainly in 2 and 3. And 2, you have a lot of, like, glitches, I suppose, which, I'll be honest, 2's still got a lot of glitches in this, but again, I'm not here running Spyro 2, I'm here running Spyro 1. You all want to see fast dragon, right? Fast purple dragon, flaming all of these dudes, collecting their gems and collecting dragons along the way. Only 50 of them. It's a bit of a shame, really. Don't get to see his whole family. So here comes High Caves. High Caves is obviously where we can see cycles become a little bit important, and so does Supercharge. Now, actually, I'm not going to be doing Supercharge yet, but as I leave this level, we're actually going to have a first instance of Supercharge, and we're going to introduce ourselves to Wizard Peak. Wizard Peak's kind of got a bit of a... Actually, no, we have got Supercharge. What am I on about? We're going to use Supercharge here to try and get some invincibility and getting these fireworks chests nice and quick. So I'm going to do is going to charge up here, get these spring chests, which I would normally have to jump and flame for, get these firework chests. I'm going to then charge into that one. Yeah, I'm going to lose a Sparks, but that's fine. I'll make sure to give Sparks some fodder in a moment to make sure to get him up to yellow. The main crucial thing is use Sparks where possible, but don't lose him, because if you lose him, you're going to start losing time having to walk on top of gems. Thankfully, Sparks is a little bit nicer, I'd say, in this game than the original, but, you know, things happen. So, after freeing Xantor, I'm going to do a little bit of a trick here, if I can get it nice and smooth. I'm going to get these guys, and then I'm going to get this chest, and then, whoa, nicely around that wall. Nice and quick into Wizard Peak. Now, Wizard Peak, again, we've got a little bit more Supercharge focus here. And we've got this trick here, which we like to dub... what do we dub it? We call it Lucas Hill. The reason being is because it's the hill that goes up to the dragon called Lucas. He's our faithful treasure planet dragon, as we like to call him. But the reason why it's Lucas Hill is a bit infamous is because Lucas Hill is a bit challenging. You can supercharge up the entire like ascension essentially, while not losing the supercharge, but you're also sort of manipulating the walls to how do I explain it? You use the walls to manipulate Spyro's like momentum and acceleration. It's kind of nice. It's quite a nice thing that you can do in this game. Because the way Supercharge works in this game compared to the original it's just it's a capped acceleration with like constant velocity, whereas in this game it's sort of like you do get to a capped velocity, but the acceleration is kind of a bit more fluid. He drives more like a car and drifts more, you know. So here we go, here comes Lucas Hill. That is extremely smooth of a Lucas Hill. That's one of the best Lucas Hills I've done, I'd say. And then we're going to get this Feeth, and there we go. That's all of our 5 eggs, but we still got 2 more levels to do. So after I get Hexus, we're going to leave Wizard Peak. Cool, and then we're going to go over to our second flight, which is Crystal Flight.
While we do that, don't suppose we have a moment for a donation?
Go ahead, Paul Lister.
Alright, we have $15 from Lemon saying, keep crushing it, buddy. And their donation is going towards the Spyro color of pink.
Yes.
That now is at, let me just make sure I have the numbers right, $65. $30 more than black. So yeah, thank you for your generous donation, and let's keep those coming. We are $461 away from that 20K, and I'd love to see it.
Yeah,
so,
let's see that 20K, folks. Massive
let's
culture.
make it happen.
Yeah. And thank you so much as well, Lemon. You are a legend, absolute gem. So here we are, we have got Crystal Flight. Now, going back into talking about flights. Now, flight mechanics are actually very different from the original. Because in the original, they're very rigid. You move up and down, left, right, you know, as usual. You can also use the camera to try and turn Spyro as sharply as you can. You can kind of do the same here. However, we've got one big difference in Reignited Trilogy, which is you can charge in flights, which is something we don't normally do. We obviously haven't normally done in the original, and by doing that, it actually allows us to turn extremely sharply, and because of that, obviously it allows us to do a lot of the things we would have found a lot more challenging. Like I used to find in the original doing the planes at the beginning really challenging because you weren't able to drop down as much, whereas in this game obviously you can kind of do it a lot nicer. Same thing with turns. Obviously turns are a lot more nicer. And one key thing again with both the original and this game is the lower Spyro is within the flight level, the quicker he will go. So obviously the main crucial thing to do is make sure to stay as low as he can without falling into the drink, which obviously, we'll get to in a moment a level called Wild Flight, which is, I would say, is the hardest flight within this game, purely because it is the quickest as well, but purely because you have to go very close to the water, and if you touch that water, that's it. You've got a lot of time loss because you have to basically do that whole entire flight all over again. The reason why we need to complete those flights spotless, because we can get maximum amount of gems from that. So here we are, we're into Blowhard, which Blowhard is quite a weird level. It's quite an easy boss. Just the level itself has these wizards. These wizards are probably the worst wizards, or one of the worst enemies within this game, purely because their attack is auto-homed, and their range is insane, and it's a bit scary. We've also got a little bit of oh damn it. Right, doesn't matter, we'll carry on. I've just lost sparks, that's not good. Slight little fumble there. But anyway, folks, basically with that, the main platforms you got here are actually cycle-based. I thought I was going to get that cycle nice and neat, but clearly didn't work up for it today. That's fine. We'll carry on as usual. There is one section where I would charge a fireworks chest, but it seems like today I'm going to have to keep it quick and have to flame that fireworks chest as much as I can and stay quick. Gonna keep on along here, not let Blowhard go into his lightning cycle, because if I do that, I'm going to start losing time and get zapped. So not allow him to do that. There we go. Collect those gems, leave it just like that. And now what's quite nice as well is we've got a sheep just before leaving this homeworld, which is obviously our backup fodder. What's quite nice as well between now and into the next homeworld is we've got some fodder that kind of randomly get in the way, which is quite nice. Again, trying to make sure we don't lose sparks as much as we can. Sadly, I lost him at that moment, but it's fine. At this point, that's an alright gem count. I can do a little bit better, but it's all good. And there we are. We're basically halfway into the run at this point. Definitely halfway to estimate. My goal is to try and get at least like 2 minutes under estimate. So hopefully we can do that, folks. Right, so next up, here we are. We're into Beastmakers. I love Beastmakers. Honestly, in Reignited Trilogy, I think this is the most beautiful homeworld in Spyro 1. I would say the other homeworlds are quite nice, but I just think Beastmakers in the original was quite, like, dingy and dark, I'd say. It's a bit murky. Whereas in this, they've made it look so beautiful. And, like, the color palette just makes it look nice. Again, I'm talking like it's, you know, like a... something like, not like a speedrunner would say, really, aren't I? To be fair, this is why I like running this game. It's not just, like, nice, fluid and dynamic movement, and with some nice, interesting movement tech, but it's just beautiful, right? It is absolutely, like, astounding. It's an artwork in its own right, you know? It's an art piece. So here we are. This is, Terrace Village. Terrace Village has a bit of cycle dependence because we have got these zap floors coming up here. I'm going to try and make sure I stay off of cycle from these zap panels, because if I can get zapped by this, I'm going to lose quite a bit of time, which I don't want to do. So I'm going to do this nice jump here, going to flutter up. Okay, I didn't get the flutter, but that's still good. It's nice and quick. Going to get these gems up along here. I'm going to get this firework up here because we've got a few invincible chests which I'm going to try and get. Going to charge this guy down here because I don't want him zapping his floor. Gonna flame this guy, gonna flame this guy, get... Well, ain't that funny? Seems like I'm not getting that invincible chest then. Do you know what's really weird? I don't know if Bobby Bill is in chat right now, but before I just come and done this run, I was just watching Bobby, who's, by the way, 120% world record holder. Shout outs to you, mate. He just had that exact same problem, I believe, where I flamed the firework, or I thought I flamed the firework, and for some reason it didn't get the it didn't blow up the chest. So I've just missed 15 gems by doing that. That's a shame.
About Bobby Bill,
Yes?
I can inform you that not only he is in chat, he's also just made a donation, if you want to hear it.
Yeah, I would love to hear it. Go on.
It is $20 saying, "Big good luck on the run, Nost. Make that dragon go fast." And it seems like he's raring for a fight because he's dedicated that donation to the black Spyro color. And now black is closing the gap. It's just $15 between black and pink. No relation to the K-pop group, of course. But anyway, that's all I know about Bobby Bill so far. So yeah, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, Bobby, again, for bringing that for the incentive back up to black. That's going to be... We have definitely got a color war going on here. And also, what brilliant timing. I bring him up just as I saw the moment that he had that problem and then suddenly throw in that dono. Mate, you are a legend. Thank you so much. Right, so here we are. We've got Wild Flight. So Wild Flight is pretty wild. To say the least, you know. I have to stay quite nice and close to this water. I don't want to have to fall into the drink. Well, also, there's another little thing as well within Reignited Trilogy. I'm going to try and make sure I avoid this. Now, that archway just there is what we dub the Devil's Archway. The reason why we do that is because if you are low enough, you can actually get a shrapnel to proxy Spyro, or more of momentum boost him, and kind of fling Spyro like right far away from all of the other cycles that he's meant to that we're meant to follow, which obviously is not a great thing. The reason why it's not a great thing is because it's a run killer. It's one of those sorts of things that you don't want happening, because if it happens, it will kill the run instantly. And that's a good time. I'll take that. So yeah, and that's Wild Flight. That's the reason why we do Wild Flight as well, with a lot of miscellaneous categories to make sure we get good gem counts as well. Just so obviously we can get as quick as gems as we can without having to do any of the longer flights. Now I've got a free Cletus. I hear he's like the second favorite dragon of the fandom or something or another. Now I'm going to get these fan chests here because I'm right next to them. Now I'm going to try for another flying skip. Hey, Nos got it. He got it. So again, as I mentioned earlier, with the flying skip, you get it's a frame perfect trick, which allows you to, basically, I didn't enter the level yet, but the game thought I did. I then quit the game, skipped the flying animation and the load screen, and then go straight into the level with yellow sparks as well, which is also quite nice. That actually, again, real time as well, might actually pick me back up from whatever gems that I missed that I need to compensate for later in the level as well. So Misty Bog is a notorious level, by the way. It's one of those levels where the difficulty starts to ramp up a little bit, because a lot of the enemies in this level are quite mean. Their timings on reaction are really sharp, especially the frogs and the Norks. The trees are actually are nerfed a little bit compared to the original. In the original, they're a lot nice. They're a lot harsh, I'd say. Another thing I should mention as well, Rip, I just got hit by that frog there, is in 30 frames a second. This is something I actually didn't take much attention to until Green mentioned it to me, is that the frogs don't react to you quick enough in 30 frames a second, whereas in 50 they react a little bit quicker, so it's a bit more of a risk. So again, it's a good reason to experiment with frame rates when doing some runs, you know? So again, trying to charge all of these enemies as much as I can, making sure I don't lose sparks. If I lose sparks here, then, you know, I'm just going to say that that flying skip was kind of half for nothing. Other than getting rid of the load screen, of course. Well, that was one of those moments, wasn't it, folks? That's one of those moments where... don't say it or you jinx it. Right? Oh dear. So, seems like I've lost sparks before entering Treetops. Shall I try and do a flying skip entering Treetops? I might do it, you know, just to try and get sparks back. I would generally get the fodder that's over there, but I'm not going to bother. I'm going to try and do another flying skip. Right, let's see how this does. No. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What did he do? What did he do? He tried to do something and failed. Uh-oh. Well then, folks. This shows that I'm a little bit rusty at this right now, right? Uh-oh. Right then. Anyway, let's get back to where we were. This run's not dead. We're basically still on time. It's all good. Let's just hope I get flying skip at Nasty Nork now. So anyway, let's pretend that didn't happen. So basically, folks, you know, that's a demonstration of don't die. If you die, especially if you haven't got a dragon, like after, you know, re-entering the home world, you're gonna go right back to the beginning. So this is why routing is really, really important. But anyway, we enter Treetops. This little animation that comes up here is unskippable. But with Treetops, we got some, you know, we got some tricks coming up here, which is quite nice. So what we've got coming up here is 3 tricks, a bit consecutive. I'll just have to make sure to point them out. We've got the 3 tricks coming up, which is the Troublesome 2 and Keyless. Now, as you can see, I got that key, which is showing up on the bottom right-hand corner. Come on, Nos. What's left and right? Which we're not going to bother with. But first of all, we're going to do Treetops Troublesome 1. This is Troublesome 1, where you have to take the supercharge and just not bother with the whole game's, you know, routing with it, and just get to Jed as quick as we can. Then we're going to go over, collect these gems, these nice gems. We're going to flame this thief before he runs off to do another cycle. And then we're going to do Keyless. Now with Keyless, we're going to again get Supercharge again. But with Supercharge, we're actually going to again abuse a bit of the collision within this game and slow down the momentum by doing this. Gonna hug the wall, gonna get that key chest there. So that was basically why I needed the key. Now I don't need the key. And also, what I'm going to do something a little bit cheeky. Now, you know what I'd forgot the, I'm actually going to get those chests. I wouldn't normally get them, but I'm going to go get them, because I missed that thing in Terrace Village. That was also a little bit of a tree hug. That was quite nice. It's quite quick. And here's Troublesome 2, which is where I'm going to have to do a wraparound supercharge to make sure I get onto that area nice and quick. This is our replacement strat of Stonot in the original game. Basically the same intent. You get up there as quick as you can without having to need to do the main, you know, intended route. That's a blue butterfly. That's going to give me a 1-up, even though I don't really need it. But that's fine. We've now just done, you know, that's Terrace Village. It's nice and quick. And then we've got good old Metalhead. Oh boy. So, to all of the speedrunners that run this game, we all know that Metalhead is what we call our Jankman. Jankman the Tin Can. Now, the reason why we'll call him this is because he's a bit of a worrying one. This level is basically, we've had it where runners have things happen that we haven't seen before, or don't intend, or, you know, aren't intended in the run, which is just due to because the game has a bit of janky programming, I suppose. Basically, I've seen moments where runners will have Metalhead throw a dude, and then the dude will veer off into another direction after destroying a pylon. I've had some runners have Metalhead run into a wall and then suddenly rubber band into where he should be going. We've had Metalhead die inside of a lava, not the lava pool, but like, you know, the water section, which would generally kill Spyro, which isn't the best thing to do, and obviously all the gems like stay in that section. It's not nice, basically. This boss looks cool, but when actually doing it, it's not fun at all. Just because we have to pray that he doesn't mess up anything, basically. But anywho, here we go. We're starting him off. He's got 2 phases. Got 1 phase of him doing pylons. I'm going to miss that pylon just because I'm going to get him to destroy that guy there. And I'm then going to charge around. If I can charge these pylons, thank you very much, game. He's just charged that guy. I'm going to get his gem because that's a 10 gem. It's a nice gem. It's a shame. I was actually technically losing time from that, but that's fine. So he didn't mess up his first phase. Like, he did mess up the first phase, but he didn't do anything weird. which is okay. Then we got the second phase coming up. With this second phase, I'm basically going to start from getting the pylons from the back and then moving towards the front. By doing this, I'm going to get this key chest, collect them up as quick as they can. As you can see, the fountain isn't automatically homing. Like, the gems aren't automatically homing onto Spyro, but I can't really do much about that. He's going to throw a guy, which means I'm going to miss out on a 2 gem, but that's all good. He's going to throw that guy down there and then, you know, do his stuff. Thankfully, he didn't do anything weird, so I'm going to collect all of those gems. Thank you, Metalhead. And then I'm going to collect a nice few amount of gems up along here. Now, as you can tell, I've been trying to keep an eye out on my gem count throughout the whole of this run. If you follow this gem route, nice bonk. If you want to follow this gem route, I actually have tutorials out on YouTube. Sorry, folks, shameless plug. I've got a YouTube tutorial on this specific run and gem route, so if you're interested in picking up this category and running it yourself, then obviously go and check out the YouTube channel. Google in YouTube on Spyro Reignited Trilogy, any percent NBS tutorial, and then you'll see me my videos out on that. So yeah, now we've got 5,053 gems. I want to make sure that when I enter in Dreamweavers, I'm about around 1,700, no, 1,070. It's kind of the main thing to look for. So I'm going to get all these gems leaving Beastmakers. I've got 50 dragons, bang on dragon count. I'm going to talk to Cray, he's going to try and talk to me twice, and there we go. That is Beastmakers done. Did I get enough? Whoa!
Hopefully you have.
Yeah, just one under the one that I want. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good.
Ooh, alright. Do I have a moment for a couple donations, actually?
Yep, go ahead, Puller, sir.
Okay, so this is quite interesting, or it has been quite interesting for a little while. We have $20 from KKPC Player saying, "Greetings from Germany and thanks for all the awesome runs. And the little dragon must be a black dragon." I don't feel like I need to tell you where that money went.
Of course.
And we also have $30 from Q saying, "Good luck with the run. Thank you for showing one of my favorites. Also, gotta get the small dragon edgy. He needs his emo phase. Let him have his emo phase."
Oh,
so
nice.
That's $50 going to making Spyro black for the next run. And that now has taken the lead with $105 over Pink's 65. We don't have much time left, so Pink Gang, if you can hear me, you need to get your donations in now or forever be sad.
Come on, folks, let's see it go pink.
Thank you both for your donations. Let's keep them coming.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. And honestly, big good luck as well to Becky, who's on next. If you folks don't know Becky Chan as well, Becky Chan runs Spyro 3 OG any percent, which is obviously up next. And yeah, hopefully, I don't know what color dragon she'll want to go for, but you know, I hope that her run is an absolute blast. Honestly, please check it out, folks. It's a brilliant run, loads of proxies and tricks, really, really neat. So yeah, and also I'm glad that I can provide you all with some HD Spyro, because you know, Spyro is the best dragon in, you know, gaming that is out there. I'm sorry, Parthenax, and I'm sorry, Smaug from, you know, Lego or whatsoever, but Spyro is where it's at, you know. Right, so here we are. This is our final flight. This is Icy Flight. Now, the one little issue we've got within not this level. Obviously, this level is fine. We've got a little bit of we are not able to do any animation skips, sadly, as I've done in the previous flying levels. The only issue I really have at this point in time is we have to do a little bit of maths. So folks, if you don't like to do any mental maths, this run might not be the best, because basically as soon as I've left this level, we're going to count how many gems we're going to need to get in Jacques. Jacques is basically our compensation level in a way, where we can get gems as many gems as we can, because in Jacques in its entirety, you can get 500 gems. But we basically can get 175 gems as quick as we can, which is really, really nice to do. So what we're going to do, we're going to get 300 here. 656. Add another 15 because of these 5 gems that are down here. And this will tell us how many gems are going to be coming up next. Sorry, my cat's My cat's just started stretching, bless his heart. So, so we need 329 gems, which is okay. I'm going to try and do a little bit of a gem route to show how to get those amount of gems. It might mean that I have to do a little bit longer than my intended gem route, which generally would be quickest. You want to be looking at around about entering, only needing about 310 gems ideally, but that's fine. It's all good. But anyway, here we are going to come up here into Jacques. This boss, by the way, is honestly the scariest boss in this game. Like, I'm going to be honest, it terrifies me. So here we are, going to come up across here. Going to do one layer cake, because I only like my cakes to one layer. Or the wedding cake, we should call it. I'm going to go get this 10 gem and these 2 5s while that fountain comes down. I'm then going to collect these 5 gems and then come on down here. And then here we are. The scariest boss in the game. This is Jacques. Jacques isn't the strongest though, because all I need to do is just run up to him and flame him. And then I'm going to do something very cheeky and point. Yeah, that platform isn't hollow. Tell your friends. And then here we are. Flame that, flame this guy. He's now gone. He's going to give me a ton of gems. I'm then also going to go and get these gems and then go right into the vortex. Have I got enough gems? Come on. Plenty. Look at that, 15 gems over, because obviously folks, all we need is 6,000 gems going into and there we are. Amos is doing his double voice as well. Shout outs to Amos. I believe he's voiced by the current voice actor for Sonic the Hedgehog, I believe. Random Spyro trivia for you folks. Right, so here we are. This is the final homeworld. So Nasty's world, or Nasty's Nexus. We only have one requirement left now, which is to basically deal our final damage to Nasty Nork. And to do that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to straight away free Delbin, purely because Delbin, if we don't free him, Delbin's not going to allow us to open up these next few dragon heads. From now on, all we need to do is get to the end of the levels as quick as we can. So we've got Nork Cove, which I'm going to do a nice little end of level wall glide for. Fingers crossed I get this first try. Then we've got Twilight Harbor, again getting to the end of level Vortex. Another thing as well you might notice is these are the only levels where going through the Vortex is actually crucial. Purely because they affect the dragon heads that you need to open up. And then we've got Nasty Nork, which is after Twilight Harbor. And what I'm going to try and do is do another one of those flying skips, trying to make it as quick as we can. Right, here is our wall glide. Here we go, folks. Oh, dang. Got a bonk. But hey ho, second try's alright. Second try's alright. That's all good. That has stopped us running the entire level. Which also heads up to any folks that would like to run this category on console. It is basically the same on console. The main difference you have is basically you have to run that entire level through because wall glides aren't a thing on console because it's one of our FPS PC exclusives. So that's good. Heading into Twilight Harbor. Now, Twilight Harbor is a weird one as well because there's one section in this level where the collision doesn't load quick enough. Like, I only just got a new computer recently to make, not specifically for this game, but, you know, it's allowed me to run this game a little bit quicker. Purely because of this bit. Now, this Nork here, if I would generally have to wait for him because his, Splatoon gun, because this is like a Splatoon knockoff, I should say, would shoot through the wall because my old computer never loaded that collision in quick enough. But anyway, here we are. We are going to jump over Cletus, and this is our final little reward, supercharging right to the very last vortex. Nice and quick. Here we go, here we go, here we go. There we are. And that is Twilight Harbor done. And folks, we are now going into the final level. Hopefully, I can get Flying Skip here to keep it nice and quick. Staying within our estimate, hopefully. Nah, that's a shame. Got 1 out of 3 flying skips. That's all good. So again, as you can see, what I tried doing was skipping the flying skips. So he's going to do his load screen and big animation. But thankfully, this is our final level now. So all we're going to do is going to get those thieves. Going to flame them as quick as you can. Don't need to worry about any gems because we're not doing 120%. And basically get to Nasty North and do that final flame. And as that final flame is done, I'm gonna have to give a heads up to the organizers to get that timer paused. Alrighty, so everyone keep an ear out, keep some nice focus. And I have a feeling this is gonna comfortably be sub 50 estimate, which would be quite nice. Only just though. Anyway, those two thieves done nice and quick, and here we are coming over to Nasty. Nasty's quite alright. You don't want to go too close to him because he'll bonk, especially down in this section. It's weird though in Reignite because he'll rubber band slightly. Anyway, so here we are coming up along here. This wall's a little bit of a trouble, so make sure you don't bonk on this wall. If you bonk on this wall, you might have to do another Nasty cycle. And make sure we stay as quick as we can. Gonna get this first flame on him, because you only need to do 2 flames. Don't need to worry about gems. There we go. So, heads up to the organizers. Time is coming up when I flame Nasty this next time. It's the final section of platforming. Coming up along here. These little bit of steps. And time! Awesome, and that is the run done.
GG.
So
I can tell you it's probably definitely underestimate.
Nice. Yeah, I could see the times ticking right now on my feedback over there, and I can see it's just under 50, right? What's that final time then, Paul Lister? Do you know?
It is 49:11.
Sweet, that's some awesome stuff. So yeah, that is basically Spyro Reignited Trilogy, any percent no balloonist skip. So to finish up your run after you've skipped through those cutscenes, you can press your guidebook button, which will show you in-game timer, just so you can compare against all the other timers you may have. And yeah, that is basically the run. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you'll have a brilliant rest of the day, rest of ESA. And yeah, next up, I believe, is
Year of the Dragon.
Yeah, Year of the Dragon, original by Becky. So best of luck to Becky, and thank you so much for watching, everyone.
Indeed.
I'll be streaming over on my channel, which is NostTW, if you want to see more Reignited runs. So drop me a follow over there if you want to go and see any more runs on that. Again, thank you so much, ESA, as well, for having me. It's been an absolute blast. It's been so fun as well. Yeah. So brilliant.
Before we go into intermission, one quick update regarding the Spyro Dragon Caller incentive. We had $40.01 from Anonymous saying, Canada gooses are majestic, barrel-chested, the envies of all ornithologies, going towards pink. And that would have been pink going into the lead, if not for a $5 donation from Jojo, going, it's a shame you didn't praise the best game in the franchise, aka Skylanders. Guess I will change sides to get myself some My Chemical Spyro with some edgy peas. And that, of course, is going towards black, which means that now our top 2 are black with $110 and pink with $105.01. We do have one more donation coming in, but I think I'm going to save that for the next run.
That's
but
fun.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Pink, do show up and get those donations in. You don't have long. You just have this intermission.
Get them in, folks. Get them in.
Get them in.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been it for me. I'll see you on Friday for some more donation reading. And thank you, Nost, for the run.
Thank you
Let's
so
go
much,
on a quick
everyone.
intermission.
See you later. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.